Good morning, apparently we're live. There I was, busily ironing away. How are you? Did you have a good evening, rest of the day, all that kind of malarkey? Oops. We did. Gosh, we were busy last night. Just have a quick look at this. What's going on here? Ah, yes. So today we are all about the diamonds. They are our best friends, aren't they? Yes, they are indeed. We have got brand new Tulip Pink for you, which you can just see. I've started... can't decide whether to make this just the weirdest quilt in the world, because I'll keep it as great big hexagons, so I won't straighten off the edges and have it as just, I'm going to call it my Curiouser quilt, either which way, or to have it as a really bizarre table runner, hexy table runner like this, so sort of just keep going along there and then bring it out for birthdays and parties, and then, you know, create placemats and everything else out of this gorgeous collection of fabrics, because you've got the Mad Hatter, you've got teacups, you've got all sorts going on in here. It is of course from Tulip Pink. It is the Alice in Wonderland Curiouser collection, and it's here. We've got it. The colours are fabulous. They're ever so much fun, but also what we've got for you also is brand new Libs Elliot as well. Libs Elliot is new to me, not gonna lie, completely new to me, and I've just been introduced to her. My goodness, oh my goodness, these are colours that I have never had here before, like really neon and fabulous, but don't they work well? Don't they work well with your Tulip Pink above? And I will show you some of the other fabrics. They're sort of nestling and hiding behind there, but we've got them cut into ½ meters here to show you, because you can buy the collection. You can buy all of the, they're not actually plains. They look plains, but they're not actually plains. You can buy them either as long quarters or as ½ meters in a bundle, because they're fabulous. You're not going to want to split them up because you're just not going to find that colour value anywhere else. So that is what we've got on the show for you today. We've got back in stock Lisa Chandler, which I'll show you in a minute, and a new coloured kiss clip thingy. But first of all, let's say a few hellos, shall we? And see who is there. Somewhere. Bear with me, caller, whilst I just here we are. Let me just turn the volume down before I hear myself. Who do we have? Let's have a look. Geraldine, good morning. Well, of course, because we've also got the Creative Grids rulers, so of course you're here, Geraldine. That makes perfect sense. Rona, good morning. Alison F, good morning. Oh, she's got a sunglasses kind of a day going on there. Leanne, good morning. Beautiful design, Natasha. Well, thank you very much. It's just sort of a work in progress. I'm just sort of adding bits on as I go. Morning, can't stay long. Off to meet a friend for crafting and cake. Rebecca, that sounds, well, just perfect. Morning, Steph. Morning, Penny. First attempt at embroidery, Cantha style. Oh, I love a bit of Cantha style. Beautiful. Fabrics look amazing. Thank you very much. Morning, Helen. From Steve and I. Oh, hi, Steve. How are you? And hello, Helen, of course, as well. And Heather, good morning, Natasha. Looking forward to the Tulip Pink fabric. It's there. It's all there, ready to go. Good morning, Colette. Good morning, Grace. Good morning, Julia. Good morning, Claire. Hello. Claire did make me laugh. She put a thing that her husband suggested they go on holiday next year. And her little boy is asking, are we going tomorrow? Are we going tomorrow? You're right. It's going to be a really long year. Really long year. That's okay. Morning, Naomi. Morning, Danny. Morning, Pam. Good morning. Oh, Pam loves these fabrics. I don't blame you. Good morning, Janet. Good morning, Tila. Tila? I was thinking Tula and then read your name, Tina, and you got somewhere in the middle. Around there. Morning, Carol. Morning, Janice. Good morning, Moira. Good morning, Jane from rainy Maidenhead. Morning, Rachel. Good morning. How are you? Haven't heard from you in a little while. Lovely to have your company. How is that Denby? Is he behaving? Good morning, Francis. Good morning, Angela. Hello. And Sharon as well, and Eileen. Good morning. Just found your Brill video, says Eileen. Well, welcome. It's a very friendly space, very safe space. We're all good. And everybody's lovely. Everybody's lovely. So, you know, I'm just going to basically, for those of you that are new or have just found us like Eileen, I'm going to sell, you know, sew away, show you a few fabrics, generally, you know, make some sort of mistake, as I did this morning. And so Yep. Managed to sew stuff together back to front. It's warts and all. I think that's how we get described quite a lot. It's sort of warts and all sewing, which doesn't sound great, but it's honest and true. So, you know, I'll go with that. I'll take that. With really pretty fabrics. I'm cross-eyed today. Oh, are you? Watching everyone. Cross-eyed today. Oh, telly and laptop on. Oh, gosh. Are you all over the place? Gosh. Oh, Kerry's loving the old Tula Pink. Feeling a bit today, says Jane. So picking up cross stitch. Well, that'll do the trick. I'm watching Natasha make, so it'll do the trick. Yes, it will. Tracy Walker, good morning, Natasha. I can join you at last. Love all your fabulous fabrics. Ooh. So tomorrow, Jane has created the most beautiful quilt out of layer cakes. Just stunning. Have a look on our social media for the pictures of that because it's just divine. We're all about Tula today. There is some more Lewis and Irene, which we haven't even cracked over. We haven't even had a chance to look at yet. There's so much going on. Like I say, we've had this dearth of fabrics and now they've all come all at once. So we're going to work with 2 different creative grids today. Work with just one if you want. Work with just one, but they work beautifully together, and we're going to build up some more blocks for my quilt / table run. I haven't decided which yet, and we're talking 60-degree diamonds, big ones, little ones. They are all good. Of course, they're from Creative Grids, which means they've got that non-slip grip on there, which is just, it's all the difference. It is all the difference. It's just fabulous. So I've been having a little play. All of these blocks so far, and this is another one that I'm just about to finish. These have all been made using using these rulers. Yeah. So this will be the next block to go in. Hang on, let's see if we can. And this is the question, you see. Do we pop that in there? I love that you get the secondary. Oh, I mean, I'm blocking the whole thing, can't really see it. But would it work better if I did it coming down there like that? Can you see that better? Ooh, it plays quite well over here, doesn't it? Ooh, maybe it needs to go then over here. Yeah, and then you get that run. There's going to be so many ways to play today. Now, this meant I had to learn Y seams. Why? Because they're in there, and I've avoided using these creative grids for so long because of the Y seams and because everyone says, oh, diamonds, it's all on the bias, it's going to be tricky. And honestly, this has been such a gorgeous ruler to work with, and the possibilities are just endless. So my idea is that for each of those blocks, they will have different ways of using this ruler. So your eye just goes, this is amazing. I just look all around like I would have imagined Alice would have been as she went down that rabbit hole. That's my sort of thought with it. Yeah, I know, just humour me. So that's kind of where I'm going to. So there are a few things just to look at first. I'm going to dive right in so I can just finish this and move this out of the way with a Y seam. And with your grid, you of course, they all also work with the 120-degree ruler as well. So if you've got that, then you can use that because, let me show you here. Oh, helps if I actually switch the camera over, doesn't it? That is, of course, your 120-degree there. But you don't have to have that. What you can use instead is just half your ruler there. So I would cut a strip and then cut that. And you can get what I could, and this is the largest size that this ruler does, out of a, did I do it 5.5 or 6 inches? I managed strip, width of fabric strip, I'd get at least 3 of those out of it. So you've then got this. Now I've cut mine slightly larger, so I'll trim it back to make it, and when I say larger I mean longer. here. That should only be to half an inch, quarter of an inch there, but I've done it a little bit wider so that I've got some wiggle room. Now, when we put together some of these later, what I will show you is how to stitch. You stitch up to a quarter of an inch from the end, but again, we're going to use our ruler to mark that. So it's sort of a bit of a backwards show today, because we're going to start with finishing off a block. Oh gosh, that does look great, doesn't it? And I have to take a moment because, you know, I've never attempted anything like this before. And, you know, I'm kind of loving this board around here, but I'm going to be honest, that's only in there because I couldn't do maths this morning at silly o'clock, and so I didn't make these quite wide enough, so I had to add a little bit on. But now I'm looking at it, and actually what it's done is take the eye so that you actually see these as, well, it moves the eye all around the place. So I'm actually really thrilled, and that's the thing. Sometimes mistakes end up being really interesting. I didn't have time to correct it, so I just went with it, and I'm really pleased. So on your ruler, you have little holes, and they are vital. So we're going to be sewing on our quarter of an inch seam down here. We're going to use this little hole here. Mark it more if you want, but that is going to be our pivotal point. Okay. When this seam is sewn, we stop quarter of an inch from the end so that that can then all move around. And this is how your Y seam goes in. It's really not difficult. And I can't believe that I've put off and put off because of this one thing. So here's how I do it. I'm sure there are lots of different ways, but this is mine. This is my way. So I take my pin. I'll try and do it at an angle for you so you can see. I take my pin and I put it through that hole, okay? I then put it through where that quarter of an inch finishes, okay? So that will line up there. Now I don't actually put that pin back in yet, it's just there because I want to now be able to line this bit up along here. Now there is bias. There is all of that going on. But once that is then aligned there, then I'll put that pin in. That's okay. Maybe just one, just to start me off. And when I stitch, I'm going to start from here. Bearing in mind I've cut these bigger, so, you know, I'm going to start off here. And I will sew quarter of an inch all the way down to that marker. Then we're going to stop, we're going to swivel this fabric around, and we will then stitch up across to the end there. And that's it. That is your Y seam. So why have I put it off? All these years, why? It's the power of suggestion, isn't it, that it's not easy. But then what I love about Creative Grids is that they give you the power, the knowledge, the ability to be able to do it. All the learning is there online if you want it. You can watch this show back, of course. There are others out there as well for this ruler. Creative Grids are very, very good with their videos. So if there's a different thing you want to make with your rulers, there'll be a video out there somewhere on it. So I can see that mark. A nice tip I picked up is when doing these, shorten your stitch length somewhere so that that needle stands more chance of hitting that marker. It just increases your accuracy. So this half we've just sewn, fold it across, spin it around, and then realign. Get your little stiletto-y tool out and get it to lie nice and straight again. That's all good. And then off we go again. Now, I'm not going to be yanking and pulling at my fabrics, okay? There is I would rather use my stiletto, but again, I'm not yanking or pulling, I'm just taking it through. And there we are. Making sure that these edges, yep, they're all aligned. Because it is a bias, so you don't want to be bending it out of shape too much. There we go. That's it. Now, the other thing is in the pressing. So, can you believe we've dived straight in with a Y seam? Phenomenal, eh? So you can see on the back, I've all of these have been pressed open. So when I've stitched large pieces together, they have been pressed open. That one's going a bit wobbly now, but that's kind of what you want to look at, especially on these inset seams, these Y seams. Morning, Laurie. Thank you. She's loving the Tula Pink design that you're doing. Sometimes I do like a happy accident, because this is sort of an improv quilt for me. It's, you know, here are the fabrics. I started off just seeing what I could do with the ruler, and it's just sort of grown from there. I'm like, actually, these fabrics are great. The kids are going to love it. Absolutely love it. Emily was up with me this morning investigating the situation. She's a little bit young for Alice in Wonderland yet. Here we go, so just pressing it open. There we go. You have to excuse me this morning. The kids have managed to give me, Freddie came home on Friday and said, Mummy, I've got a sore throat. So of course he's managed to share that with me this morning. I woke up and went, oh yeah, there it is. And then when you flip it around, you've got that all inset. Now, they're not always perfect. What are you going to do? No one's going to notice that. It's not 100% perfect, but it just doesn't matter. You know, I'm getting better and better and better at them. That one's pretty good. One's not too bad. You know, they're there. They are there or thereabouts. And so it just, this is another one now that we can add in. I really like it. I'm really, really pleased with it. This is just strips off the roses fabric. And so that will then tie in beautifully as I add it in. So that's how we're going to put the Y seams in. Now, let's have a look then, shall we, at some other fabrics to go into there. These are a bit gorgeous, aren't they? So these are your teacups. So let's look at just the very basics of using this ruler. So what you're going to want to do, let's have 3 of these, because we've got the roses as a complete thing. So let's do these as well. We're going to cut these off a strip like that. I believe it's 5.5 inches. Let me, oh, 8.5 inches rather. Let me just double check that. Oh, it's a good job I checked, isn't it? Could have been awkward. There we go. Sorry, that's my mother-in-law ringing in the middle of the show. So you're going to want to cut your 8.5 inch strips off all your fabric pieces, and you can lay them up if you feel confident to, then do. Yeah, I think we might actually see them in half term. Gosh, I can't remember the last time it's been since we saw them. It's very exciting. The kids will be thrilled, that's for sure. Okay, so you can layer these up. You can chop off your selvages or just know that they're going to come off. Gemma, I think, is busily stitching, because she messaged me the other day and was like, could I just have your offcuts because I've got an idea. I'm like, Okay, of course you can. So we're going to pop our ruler up there, missing the selvage, cutting up along there and across like so. Spin it around. If you have a rotating cutting mat, that is a really good thing to bring out now. Okay. And of course, because this is Creative Grids, you've got the little knobbly bits, otherwise known as dog ears, that you take off. All right. And you will get another one out of those if you open them out, but we don't need it because we've got 2 of each, and we're just going to need those 6 going round. So it will look a little something like this. Okay. And this will be a whole new one. Let's go. So of course, you know, when we start to stitch, we want to look for the easiest way to sew all of these things together, which means that, doesn't that look fab? Love this. So we'll stitch those 2 together first. We will then add on that 3rd and do the same here, which then means that we've just got a nice straight line to sew across there. Now, we've got our little straight edges there, which makes it so much easier when we go to the sewing machine with these. You want to flip one over on top of the other, but here's the thing, line them up, get your ruler, here it is, and we can see on here these holes. These are the holes we're going to use, and that is going to mark the point up to which we stitch, and then that's going to leave that seam open then at the end to pivot. It's a whole new word, pivot. So there we go, that's the marker there. If you want to pin, you know what, pin, it's up to you. You know what I'm like, a little bit let's just do it. But what I will do when I start to get to that point, slow down, get absolutely onto that dot because I've got a shorter stitch length, and go back a couple of stitches, okay? And then you're going to want to open out that seam. Here we are, here we are, here we are. There we go. So, and we've stitched up to, so you've got that gap just there. And now we're going to add this one on. I'm someone that has to lay everything out. To make sure that I'm sewing the right bit to the right bit. It's just me. And I think that's okay. Okay. So that is the point that we will sew to. Okay. And just remember, or just start from, you know, because I'm going to stitch it now from the opposite direction. So I can, and actually this foot is really good because it's absolutely on that bit there. So I can go forwards and just backwards, and then I can zhuzh all the way down there. That's a technical term. If you want to pin. I know my machine, I know it pulls straight, and it's just really fabulous like that. So I will go for it a little bit more than I would with necessarily any other machine. But also because I've got that 1/4 of an inch guide, that helps as well. It just gives me that little bit of safety. I know that, you know, I'm not going to sort of look the other way and slide off anywhere that I shouldn't be. Here we go. There we go. And that's half of it done. So it really is coming together quickly, isn't it? You know, that's a big start. This is, you know, this is your 8.5 inch. So it is going to be a big one. So then that'll be, you see what I mean? I always have to come back to, right, that one, then that one, just because otherwise my poor little brain cannot cope. Which we all know. There'll be agreeing in the other room, like, yeah. So, and again, you know, which way do I sew, from that way or that way? I need it to be from that end, and around we go. But this is why it's amazing how fabrics can jump, isn't it? And just go in the wrong direction. Just from lifting it from your cutting mat up to there. So slowing down as I get to that point, and then backwards just to secure it, and then back across to here to press it open. I still set my seam, so I still will put my, you know, just put my iron on, press, set it. It just sets the you know, the thread into that fabric. Now, would you like me to get, because I suddenly thought, you know, a seam roller would do really well here as well right now. Would you like me to get some? It was something that I thought I could have been really useful, rather than keep pressing with the iron. Just give it a quick roll. Keep rolling. Right, there we go. There. That onto there. And again, repeat that process, making sure. There we go. And again, this time I'm going to start from that point and stitch down there. And then we'll sew it all together. And we've already shown you how to do that Y set seam. So then it's just a matter of what other things do we want to do with it. So it really is nice and easy, and in a minute I'll show you how they all work together, like how you can use both rulers together. Because I'm going to be honest, I wanted to do quarter diamonds, and the maths of it made my head ache. And then, yeah, good. I then I spotted that the mini diamond fits into this 4 times perfectly. So I was like, of course it does, because it's Creative Grids and they know what they're doing. Yeah, of course they do. So there we are. That's that on back to front. This is when I would probably pin. So let me just scoop up. There we are. And if you want to, whoops, throw them around, you can do that. And you can also see where you've sewn through to that point. So you want to pin take your pin through the very, very top bit, the very, very peak bit. And then it's easier, isn't it, going into the second fabric, because that just goes into that. It lines up beautifully, but that's the only bit of pinning that I would really bother doing. Now, Jane came up with a great slogan that if you have a fabric that's baggy, put it on the bottom. And I was like, oh, right. Because then the feed dogs will take up that tension, and then you can just eke that top fabric along a little bit. So if at this point you're looking, and it shouldn't be if you've cut it accurately with the ruler, but if you're looking at it and going, oh, hang on a minute, one of them is slightly baggier than the other, then you might just want to bear that in mind. If it's baggy, put the baggy to the bottom. I just think baggy bottoms, and that does me. Well, that sounds weird, doesn't it? Oh, no, don't start stitching yet. What am I doing? All right, this needs to come back out, because, of course, what we need to do, we need to start there, because these will still be seams that we're going to insert those Y seams into. So let me just make that mark bigger for me to see, certainly. And if you can see, even better. And now we can go to the machine. Yes, we can. Yes, we can. Look, it's not the end of the world. It just means a little unpick. We've all done that. And going back again. Now, if you have been accurate with your and consistent with your seam allowance, hopefully that will go through beautifully. There we go. There we are, done. And again, we're going to want to press this and then have it open. This will be the moment of truth. Let's see, shall we? Let's just see. Oh, not bad, you know, not bad. Let's press those seams open. I'll take that. I will take that. Thank you very much. There we are. Now, of course, never throw the instructions for these rulers away, because they have vital information in them. I get a quilter's clip, and I tend to just clip them together with my ruler when I'm not using them. Right. It looks quite pretty, doesn't it, with these all open at the back? But get your nose in there. Now, if you've got fabric spray, then get something like your Best Press or your Starch Savvy, something like that. Get those out and get going with those because of the biases. That's quite pretty, right? Should we have a look at it from the right around and see what we've actually got here? Well, ladies and gents, what we actually have there is a pretty flipping perfect middle, even if I do say so. I will take that. I mean, it's missed it by a thread. But oh my goodness, in the scheme of things, once that is quilted, I'll even show you this on a close-up. That's not too bad, is it? For someone that doesn't, you know, doesn't do diamonds, well, I mean, only in jewellery form, that's all right. Woo! And this isn't a fluke. This isn't just, oh, well, you know, good on you, Tash. That's a one-off lucky situation, because no. I did this one as well. And this had more riding on it because of the contrast. If you're using your grids, you're going to get these results. You just are. You just are. So, yeah, that's what it's looking like now. So that'll be That'll be there, and then this is going to be the next star maybe along, you know, if I do alternates. So I just have to set in those Y seams there. But we can see how that would look. Maybe I would spin that around like that. That's pretty, right? It's pretty. And that next to the roses, or opposite, you know, opposite the roses, so that I've got one with stripes, one that's a plain fabric. I say plain, I mean as in like not chopped up into lots of little bits. One with, that's I think how this is gonna kind of gonna work, because I've got one with stripes there with Alice's face, and then I've got just the roses, they're beautiful. So they're your teacups, but of course they're gonna look gorgeous as well if you get a teacup shape and a plique, and you know, you do like that stacking cup things. I might have to try that with it as well. But these are also giving me, I've done these in all sorts of different directions, so it's giving me that non-directional look, because it doesn't matter then which way you're sitting, you're going to have a teacup looking out at you. I think these are fab. Now, the other thing to look at, of course, is if you wanted to do those as a placemat, you might want to grab yourself some of the Hexiform 60-degree diamonds, and then, these are rather fab. We've looked at Hexiforms. We did them last week, didn't we, when we did the book, cover. And again, now what you would just, so that could be your place setting, and then you just want to finish those off. So all you would do is, before you started covering these, is find your rotary cutter. There we go. And that will slot into there, and then you're going to get, let's do 2 more of those, a beautiful hexagonal place setting, which would be absolutely gorgeous. And what I would then do is put this on top of Insel Bright, quilt it, back it, and it'll be gorgeous. So you can, that's going to sit your dinner plate on beautifully, really beautifully. So then something like that could then, if you've got your hexagon table runner going on here, and then these would then come out here. In that gap that creates, when you have a fabric there, that is going to sit so beautifully in that gap, and then there'll be one opposite, and you can lay your table like that. It's just an idea, but because of the Mad Hatter Tea Party aspect of it, I think it might be a bit of a winner. So it's just an idea. But that's what we're here for, to give you ideas, try and give you some inspiration, have a good think about stuff. See what you fancy, because there's going to be offcuts, of course there is. Right, okay, now what happens then if we are stitching with, I'll do these. So these are the other sides of my diamonds here. So if you want to cut strips and sew them together lengthways, then you can. So you've got your strips, you cut them, and then you use this to create your triangles, and then you sew your other half of the triangle together, which will then give you your diamond. Okay, easy, right? Or, I mean, you might just want to just create that going round. Doesn't have to be diamonds, that's the beauty of it. And we've got half of this put together here. Okay. I am loving these ombres. They are just gorgeous. Have you nearly finished it, Jem? Well, she said, well.
Dog ears are still present because I might add a bit on actually.
Oh, no one cares about dog ears.
I might add some little slashy bits around the
Well, I mean,
inside.
dogs care about dog ears, but that's about it.
Yeah. But yeah, it's similar layout to what you just did with Textile.
Well, that, you know, yeah.
Almost like we were thinking.
It's like we think alike.
I was
So,
thinking that this new
hang on,
Lewis and
she's
Irene,
new Lewis and Irene.
yeah, the Love Blooms.
The Love
If you wanted a
Blooms.
really sort of vintage
If you wanted a
tea
vintage tea
room,
party, yeah, it'd be gorgeous, wouldn't it? Be absolutely gorgeous. Now with these, obviously I had the little, this is the other half of the ones I've just worked with. So they have those little green bits now. They're going to make a tiny little middle bit and just the tips of my star, which actually you probably won't really see. And this probably won't go into the quilt, but it's just to show you, if you've got these, what you're going to do. Now what I've done all the way along here is press to the dark side. So if we look over here, you can see that I've pressed my seams into that dark side, which then means that when we start to pop these together, that seam to the dark side, that seam to the dark side nest. And you can just, and it's only on that tip that you want it to nest, because of course it's then going to flow round. Pin it. And then, and this, it was in sewing one of these that I had to remember about the baggy bottom. Put your baggy bottoms to the bottom. Baggy bottoms. Well, you know, I think we're all friends here, Jem. I think that we can discuss baggy bottoms. I don't think that's a bad thing. It's a safe space. It's all fine. And then up here, there we go. And of course, the same thing applies with this. Hello, kitten. How did you get in here?
I think he must have gone through the upstairs and round.
Come here. Come here.
Naughty Morty.
It's Naughty Morty. Look how he's grown. Naughty. Hello. Yes, you should not be in here, should you? But these are just my fabrics. These are my own personal fabrics, so you can stay. So you will need... Where's your brother, Morty? Oh, look at you purring. Can you hear him purring?
Morty, you can come to me. Yes.
He's like, no way, Jose. Do you know how long I've been trying to get in here? No way. You got him.
Oh my gosh, he's purring.
He is purring so loud. so loudly.
Like an aircraft.
Morty. He's so naughty. He is so naughty. Honestly, his name could not be more apt. He is the naughtiest of kittens. Just got an edge I need to trim there. But haven't they grown? He is such an escape artist. Poor Malcolm. Malcolm was all snuggled into me in the night, having a good old cuddle. And his brother just dive bombed him and leapt on him. Poor Malcolm, who is of a slightly more nervous disposition, shot up, fell off the edge of the bed, and then tail arched, hissing at him. I'm like, thanks, boys. We're up then. That's great. Thanks a lot. Honestly, Gemma, you thought you had a bad night's sleep. You want to try having a couple of kittens having a cat fight. It did not help. That, of course, then woke up Captain Small, who does not take much encouragement to wake up in the morning. And that was the end of that. So I don't know what sort of state my daughter's going to be in today, having been up since, 3:30. Fun times. There we go. So that's the first one. And again, you're going to press it and press it open. Dink, 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 dink. You're chuckling to yourself. Is he being a terror?
Well, he's just gouged a chunk out of my hand as I put him down.
He's gouged a chunk out of your hand. Has he really? It's funny, you know, that kitten, he does not put a claw out for the kids.
No, so
He knows.
Down, he just got me.
Yeah.
I'll put it in the accident book.
Yeah, put it in the accident book, that's it. Attacked by ferocious kitten. Yeah. Yeah. Make sure you do. Health and safety, health and safety. Hey! Not bad, eh? We're getting there. We are getting there. And this is, again, this is when I then come back to, right. Let me double check. Yep. Which end I'm going to need. It'll be that one. Let's plop that on there and then pin in place. And I you know, I'm constantly coming back. I'm constantly double checking myself, because otherwise when I don't, that's when it goes a little awry. As we've seen on many an occasion. You know, I get chit-chatting. It happens. Kitten comes in. It happens. There we go. Now look, we've got some bagging going on over here. So I'm just going to double check myself. And this could just be that I've cut it a little bit wrong. I think I have. These weren't actually meant to be sewn, so I wasn't really too cautious about how I did it. But it could probably be rectified. And like I say, that is all because, yeah, these were not the ones that were going to be sewn, but I hate waste. I really hate waste. So we're going to put baggy bottoms to the bottom. Let's mark where we need to stop and just see. I mean, that is really quite a baggy bottom, if we're being honest. So we're going to start on that seam there and work out. Let's see. It might work. It might not. But like I say, I wasn't as careful with these because these were never meant to be. It's just that when I saw them, I was like, oh, actually, they're quite nice. So this is where, because this is going to happen for you at some point. This is going to happen for you, and it's okay. This is my baggy bottom. All right, so I'm just going to apply a little bit of oomph to that top one and see if I can't half straighten it out. And again, I'm going to go in right up to that seam with my little pokey tool. So actually, rather than being afraid of the bias, let it be your friend. You know, let it make life a little bit easier for you where you need it to. It's all good. Well, I don't know yet, I haven't looked. It might be dreadful, in which case I won't be showing you. Let's have a look. It's actually better than the other one. Which just goes to prove the point, Jane's point. Put your baggy bottom on the bottom, baggy bit on the bottom, and you can. Look, seriously. This is the tricky one. It's perfect. It's perfect. So pinning, just because you've got that bias, you've got that little bit of extra stretch. So don't panic is my point. Perfect points, by the way. Just saying. Yes. And again, I am going to do those open and then we'll stitch it together. And that's another bit done. If, God, Joe, there we are. That's all right. I'm quite happy with that. It's every now and then. If you, like, I'm so lucky because I've got Jane here, and every now and then she will just throw a little gem like that into the conversation, and I'm like, well, Yeah, no, of course. That makes such perfect sense. The feed dogs then take up that tension. That just allows it to flow. You can then pull that top one and just adjust it when you're working with a bias. In fact, because cotton is a woven fabric, obviously there's always a bit of room for manoeuvre. There just always is. So what that does mean is that we are a little bit wonky on this side. It's not the end of the world. But that would go on there. I'd match up as I did before, stitch across, and then what we would have would be that. Nice. And if you're really concerned, sew a button in the middle. You know, it's all good. It's all good. Look, and just the way that this flows around. These could be solid colours, by the way, that go around. They could be solid colours. But doesn't that look different to the one with the border going through? Gives it a totally different feel. There we go. They are, that is those are they. Now remember, all of these done with one ruler so far. There are so many that you can do with one ruler. Now I want to just show you, so these, the stripy diamonds there, the way that they were created, and we'll show you how to cut these in a minute. Let's just show you how to sew them. So your ruler, are we all okay by the way, we're all there, is obviously on a slant. So you can cut these on a slant and then there's just less waste. So with these, I'm going to sew this, obviously. Which way around did I do it? Can't remember now. Oh, there you go. That's going to go onto there like that. And so you just, I'm going to get that slant. So let me just pop that over there and stitch down. What I will do before that is stitch on, here it is, cheeky. Stitch that on. So put it right sides together. There it is. Let's stitch those together. These are just 2.5 inch strips, which are going to work an absolute treat. And you don't have to be like super cautious about, oh, is it absolutely exact? This is just so that you avoid having a big chunk on the end that you have to take off. Now you can see, if you can hear, it's a little bit noisy. I am not messing around with these fabrics. I'm not pulling, I've got them layered one on top of the other and I'm just letting my machine pull it through. Because I stitch with that, with the foot with the guide on, I am happy and confident to just let it pull it through. And you know, if you know your machine, you're going to be able to do that. But I just wanted to show you, people get into trouble and start saying you've got to stitch, you know, one strip one way and flip it and stitch the other because otherwise it'll moon. But that kind of happens if your machine pulls or if you pull the fabric. It helps if you don't run out of bobbin. Oh, I lost it, bobbin chicken. Right. Should we take this as a very quick gap and just say hello to everybody? My Wi-Fi can't cope, especially with hubby at home too. Well, Julia, send him out. You can. You can just send him out now. That's it. There we go. Good morning. Lol, I'm watching. Just need a quiet day. Shall I whisper, Myra? I'll whisper. Do you have to press seams open to reduce the bulk, as I usually press to one side? Yes, normally you would press to one side. You are exactly right, Fiona. I am pressing, gosh, it's a bit scary, isn't it? I am pressing them open because there is a lot of bulk. And that just helps. So I didn't have to do anything whizzy whizzy woo when I got into the middle because everything was opened out already. So there isn't There just isn't very much bulk. Oh, wait up, is that for me?
From Japan.
Oh, you're going to have to open it, Stephen. Someone's going to have to open it. He's just jamming. You know what that is? That's come straight from Japan.
Yeah.
You know what that is, don't you?
Yeah.
Just you wait. So, Lisa, if you're watching, these are your new fabrics. You know the ones that you haven't got yet? They've just arrived here. Yeah. Do you want to see your new fabrics in your new colourways? Do you want to see them? Because they've just arrived, fresh off the plane from Japan. How very exciting. Guys, they're not loaded on the system yet, but I will show you. Gemma's in there. She is in there. I mean, that's the quickest I've seen her move for a while, if I'm honest. Even Stephen says these boxes are heavy. It's because they're full of beautiful goodness, beautiful fabric goodness. Thank you very much, Stephen. How fortuitous you were home today. He's just looking like, oh no, what else have you bought? It's that beautiful thing. It's business, it's business, it's business, it's all good. It's all good. Whee! I can't wait to see. Get in there quicker, Gemma. Are they a bit gorgeous? I can't see, it's too dark. Too many of the bulbs have gone in the hall, I can't see. Oh yeah, the new teal flowering gums. You're joking, I'm going to show them now. We'll have them loaded by tomorrow. I'm showing them now. That would be so mean. Gemma, you're so mean. Purple flowering gums. I bet you make your kids wait until like Christmas evening to open any presents.
Yeah. What do you mean presents? I don't get presents.
Present. Singular.
Jane, feeling strong?
Oh, Jane's feeling strong. Jane's feeling strong. I'm just trying to put the bobbin in the right way. I'm so excited. Bear with us, everybody. Sorry about this. This is just a normal day, basically. Oh, look, what more loveliness has arrived. And I've played bobbin chicken and lost. Jane's now been roped in. Jane, how beautiful on a scale of 1 to 10? 11! Luckily, I think we've got enough of all. Yeah. So these are, Lisa has, she's had some of her fabrics printed in a new colourway, which is stunning. And I can just hear lots of evil giggling coming from the hallway. And look at the sheen on that. Is all I'm hearing. Oh, the tealy things. There is bits of teal. I do love teal. Lisa knows I love teal. I am super excited. I don't know if I can finish this off now because I'm just super excited. I will. And then I will show you. We've also got the fans back in stock. I'm a fan of the fans. We've got the fans back in stock as well. Let's hope that this is all back where it should be. And we'll just whiz these into place again. And then we'll have a look. We are so lucky. I mean, what a privilege. Even Lisa doesn't have these yet. And it was all a little bit nerve-wracking as well because this is the first time we were using a different fabric agent. So it was, yeah. Or import agent or whatever you call them. I don't know. I'm new to all of this. But learning. But honestly, if you haven't bought any of the Lisa Chandler stuff yet, there is nothing else like it in the UK right now. I've not seen anything else like it at all. It is just stunning. Just stunning. So the black is on the top because I want the seam to go that way under the black. Are they a bit gorgeous, Jane? I can hear a clippity-cloppity feet. Ooh, ooh. Ooh, hang on a minute. Do you want to see? I'm going to interrupt this transmission, everybody, to show you. Oh, this is a bit gorgeous. Oh, teal flowering gums. Yes. Yes. That's beautiful. Look at the colour on that. Whoa. Hang on, everyone, look at this. Isn't that beautiful?
The pear's back in stock.
Oh, pear's back in stock as well?
Yeah.
Good, good, good. And now, let's show you what other new ones we've got. Oh, thank you. What's this one?
Purple.
No, well, is it just called purple? Surely she hasn't just called it flowering gum. No, it's just flowering gum purple. Huh?
This is new as well. So we've had
No, we've had red. Ooh.
multi.
There you go, there's your pear. Do you know what? I'm not being funny, but actually these diamonds could just be done in your flowering gums. What's this
just
one?
orange.
This is just orange.
We've had orange and green before, and we've had red, and this is just orange.
So this is just orange. This works beautifully with these. That's what that's going to work with. So these can now all go up on the website. Oh, new gum leaves. Oh, this is pretty. It looks sort of spearminty. Oh, Natasha, your teacups on the last piece are upside down, I think. I'm not worried about making it directional, Geraldine. I take that stress off myself. Oh, oh, yes. That's a bit gorgeous. And actually, oh, how cool and beautiful is that? And the ultimate blender of blenders. So you see now you've got a whole new colourway to do the Elliot's Garden quilt, because the next thing that I'm going to show you is your gum leaves in ivory. And I don't just mean in ivory, I mean as in the leaves are ivory. How beautiful is that? Oh, yeah. So these are new colourways. There should be, I think there might even be some other colourways coming as well. But, let me just show you what is back in stock as well. They are a bit special. There we go, right. If we're talking these two, actually, we'll finish this in a minute. We'll just have a little new things we've got, or in things of interest. Oh, look. So this is Gemma's hexiforms. Here we are. This is what she did. And she just did this on the scrappy offcuts. That's all she's done. So that would work beautifully as an EPP placemat. Gorgeous. Now, we've got gold. 8.5 centimetre kiss clasps. That's what I'm trying to say. Took me a while, but I just wanted to show you. This is the light gold. Now, light gold to me is really close to rose gold, and when you see it next to the new gold ones, you can really see that. I think if we're talking rose gold, then this little thing is on the deals page. It's the last of our stock. Got there you go, there's your lipstick, but it's actually a little needle cushion. Gemma says she carries one of these in her handbag, so they're on the deals page, as are your rose gold pins and your folding scissors. We all agreed yesterday that these are fab. I keep a pair of these in my car actually as well, because they're just very, very handy to have. And safe. There we go, they just go like that. So again, if you are all about the rose gold, they've got some money off them. They're on the deals page. When they're gone, they're gone. Brand new in. How beautiful are these? Vegan leather, I believe we call it. You've got your little handmade on there with your buttons and your safety pins and your thread. Don't know if I can get it a bit closer for you here. Look at that. Aren't they fun? And you just stitch them on to your bags or whatever it is that you're making. With a little birdie. Aren't they beautiful? I think they're for like 50p each. But they just finish off a project, don't they? Aren't they lovely? And you stitch them in there and stitch them in there. They're fab, aren't they? Really good fun. So that's what we've got for you. Back in stock are the fans. So that's your is that just your ivory? Is that what they're called? Gold. Cream and gold. This one is, oh, I can't read it through the plastic, but back in stock. So if you're after these, I know that we have messaged most of you. If you wanted fans to go with the lighter Melba, the pink and the teal, or if you wanted to make the Melba tote or the summertime tote, can't remember which one the stripy one is. The stripy one is the summertime tote. These are back in for the summertime tote. But have a look at doing it in some other colour ways for the fans as well. But they are back in stock. Just, you know, so as you know. Right, let's put all of that to one side. Finish off my demo in a minute. Or not, you know. Thank you, Gemma, for that. Yeah, so that was my idea, is if this is going to be a table mat, a table runner, then you can have your table mat sat in the gap. How gorgeous would that be? We are getting there. So we've got our strips. It's convoluted, but we get there in the end. And this just means that there's slightly less waste. Now let me look. Do I want to do these in the exact same way? In which case it's going to go like so. Flip over, so we've got dark, light, and then just whiz that through the machine. Dark side on top when we come to press. And hey, presto. Hopefully we should not now be running out of le bobbins. Geraldine, is that going to annoy you if I've stitched the teacups on the wrong way around? The thing is, once it's on a bed or a table runner or whatever you end up having it as, it's going to be viewed from all angles. So I'm not someone who really worries about it, but if it's something that would do your head in, then change it. There we go, nearly there. So this is going to give us those stripy diamonds. That you can see up there behind me. In the one with Alice. Nearly there, nearly there. Okay. So, dark side on top because I want to press to the dark side. And that's how that goes. And then that will be our fabric strip set done. Then ready to get a cutting. And it might just be that by doing this we do actually manage to get another set out of it. You never know. I'm trying to wonder why these fabrics are feeling a little bit bouncy today, but I didn't best press them. I think that's why. So here we are. Let's have a look from above. Okay, so you can see we've got this offset now. I've done that quite badly. But if you actually do it well, then you don't waste quite so much. You get the idea. I've done it too pointy. Hey ho, never mind. Right. Spin it around. I didn't do it before, it just dawned on me that I should be doing that. Right. Line up, line up. And then cut off there. And that gives you your diamonds. Now I didn't chop off that end bit. Let's just line everything up. Dink, dink, dink. And take that off as well. There you go. So that is then how you would do that. Now if you wanted to do all of those together, I wonder if I will get 3 off or if I've totally wrecked that. Don't know, we'll see. I'll go with a scant 1/4 inch on this. I've got quite a wide 1/4 inch. I might just get another. So this is another way that you can play. Another way to play. Hooray! Oh, how beautiful is that going to look? And that's going to give you a whole different amount of movement going on there. Just gorgeous. Let's have a play with some other fabrics, shall we? Right, and this is where this little one is going to come into its own. This is the mini diamond, this is your big diamond, but look, that is going to go in beautifully 4 times. So let's cut some strips. Fabrics that we could be working with. From the collection, this is what we've got. This is your Mad Hatter's Tea Party. Beautiful. These would be fab as a border stripe. Just gorgeous. You've got your mouse in there, you've got your rabbit, your hatter rather, you've got your hare, wasn't it? And then in this is obviously the lobster quadrille, or when she was crying, you've got your dodo in there and all of your everythings. So what I might do is I might take these and do my diamonds, as these aren't going to matter what sort of angle they are at. And of course you've got the Cheshire Cat there as well. So I'm going to work with these 4 fabrics. I'm going to save that for some sashing or something else. Fabulous. Okay, so. We'll cut a couple of layers at a time. With our stripology rulers. There we go. And again, don't ever throw these away because it will tell you what size strip and stuff to cut. Okay, it also shows you how to cut trapezoids, parallelograms, and all this sort of stuff. But and hexagons as well, you can cut hexagons out of this as well. So use the ruler to cut diamonds from strips ranging in size from 1.5 to 4.5. So the 4.5 is the size that is shown, which is going to be, if I put that like that, That's going to be my 4.5-inch strip. So we're going to be cutting that. Okay. This cat's got eyes and he's a looking. It's like naughty Morty, isn't it? Jane was it Jane or Gemma this morning was looking at these going, I would quite like to spend about 10 minutes in Chula's brain wondering just how her mind works. But not too long. Not too long. There's no other designer like her, is there really? Not like this. Okay, so you can then layer these up. Going to take our strips. Going to take our diamond. And off we go. Taking those nibbly bits off there. Spin it around. What have I done with my rotating cutting mat? Because that would be really useful right now. I'll grab it in just 1 second. You know, after it's too late. And if you've got these lined up, you can just go along and just cut them. You see, without a rotary cutter, you're forced to cut towards you like that, which is just uncomfortable. And I do not like. Ah, here it is. That'll do it. That'll do it. There we go. Let's pop that on there. That'll make this one easier. Let's actually cut that properly, shall we? Goodness me, there's no room for half measures here. There we are. But if you have cut multiple layers like that, oh gosh, blade undone. Just make sure that they're lined up when you come to cut them. But you can see the fabric isn't shifting underneath this ruler. It's just rather fab. This is why you need your rotating cutting mat. Then we've got that. If I open this out, could very well get some more. You never know. More. For those of you that are grandparents, have you ever read your kids Marvin Wanted More? It's a great book. My kids love it. It's about a sheep who just eats and eats and eats, and he eats the world. And then he vomits it up, and the kids think it's hilarious. I mean, I'm not really I realize I'm not really selling that as a great book. But honestly, it's a favourite here. We're not exactly highbrow, are we? So if you've realigned and you want to just take those edges off, then this is where having that rotating cutting mat really comes into its own. And then you've got a couple of triangles or whatever to give to Gemma to do more EPPing with. Whee! Right, let's cut these and we are good. Thank you for bearing with me. I'll probably just cut one of these because I can show you what we need to do. There are just so many ways, and I was thinking this morning, oh gosh, what do I show? Because there's so much. I tell you what, someone's getting a good scrap bag, aren't they? Down there like that. So we've got options. We can now either have this little scenario going on. I mean, that would be fab, because then you'd get like stripes of diamonds going all the way around. If you wanted to, you could do the whole thing, or you could do it so that each one was different. And pull that all the way around. And I think this is how I'm going to go. So let's have a look at how we would then put those together. So if you are in doubt, what I would say to you is just pin it where you think the seam allowance would be. So I've just placed that so that it's nice and flush. You can see in a straight line along there and along there. That's about my 1/4 of an inch. And if I then pull that away, you can see that that's going to give you a nice straight line. So I'm in the right way, because if you're used to working with rulers that don't cut off this dog ear at the top, you will probably have been that person that'd be like, what? But this is how you want to align it. And you can just do that thing to just double check yourself. It is absolutely okay. And then we'll do the other one as well. And I would chain piece these. So if I had them and I was going to do this all the way around, I would just chain piece them so that I was in the habit of doing them all the same way. And again, the joy of the creative grids means that they all line up beautifully together. So you're going to want to press one seam one side, one seam the other. Because I've gone alternates with the darks, it should work that I keep my dark fabric as the top fabric. So what I now have, you see, is that. But I've got straight lines to stitch, so I can now flip these one on top of the other. And again, this is the first time that I've done this. I just saw it and wanted to do it. So let's be really clear about how we're going to pin these. You're always going to end up with like a triangle either end. But that's where our seam, and it is absolutely on that peak that you want to go. And then, yeah, because creative grids know what we're up to, you can see where that dog ear is cut off is flush with that end, and the same up there. So we can now take that to the sewing machine, we can stitch down there, and we know it's going to be fabulous. Well, at least we hope we do, because this is the first time I've done it, so you know. Again, coming off right where that dog ear finishes there. So everything gets aligned. How are we looking? Oh, just a pinch out. But you know what? For my first attempt, I don't think that's too bad. And by the time that's into a quilt, it's not so dreadful that I can't live with it. And that's it. So that's another way that you can use them. Honestly, there are so many, it's phenomenal. The next thing that I want to do and that I want to show you would be using the mini diamonds in colour order. So I just want to show you, I've got you some Alison glass. These are cut to order, by the way, by 1/2 meters. They're the crochet design, but I got them because if you look here, don't they work so beautifully with the tulle? I'm all for mixing and matching designers. This is Alison glass crochet and it's just beautiful. And I thought, you know, if you wanted to bring in another designer, you wanted to mix stuff through, then that was rather beautiful. And so also, if you have not met, here we go, Lib, what's her surname? Gosh, I've just lost it. Libs Elliott. This is her fabric, and these are her planes that go with it, and they are just divine. John had some of these and they sold out within the day, and he was the one that introduced me to it, and I was like, that is phenomenal. So you can get these as a bundle, and I just think they're beautiful. I'm going to fan these out. I am a fan. So what I would do, you see, is a diamond in each of these colour and just do a great long rainbow. But you've probably seen these behind me. Let me show you this on a close-up actually very quickly, because you can see it's not a solid colour. Here we go. Can you see that? It's fab, isn't it? Really fabulous. Oh, did you want to see the crochet? There you go, that's the crochet close-up. Again, beautiful, such lovely detail in there. Very clever. So, again, we've never had colours this, you know, if I say plains, you know, we all know they're not, but they are, of this brightness. It's just gorgeous. It's going to cheer up any miserable day, isn't it? Look at that. Just beautiful. So that's what I would be doing with my diamonds, and I'd be creating just the most beautiful diamond quilts. Now, how about this? Because look at that. Oh, just stunning. And of course it's got these colours through it. It's the same tone. So we've put these black and white ones, I say black and white ones, you know what I mean, as a bundle. You can get them either by the 1/2 meter or the long quarter, but the colour values are here. Okay, so you've got that in a black and in a white version there. I adore this. Look at the ombre in just little bits of spray here and there. I'm going to have to do something totally fabulous with these, and I just don't know what. They literally came in yesterday, and I don't know what to do with them yet. I don't know. I know what I want to do with these. So maybe I'll just mix some of these, scatter some in. Look at that. It's like someone's just spilt a little splodge of glitter, but in rainbow. It's really beautiful. Really beautiful. And also just a really great mixer. And then these are fab too. Look at these. So I am always really pleased when I find a new designer that I love, but I just think that these work so beautifully with the Tula Pink as well. I mean, that's going to be a dramatic quilt if you just go black and white and then just throw in those colours. Just gorgeous. And of course, if you wanted to throw in your Alison glass in there as well, that's really gorgeous, especially this one, because there isn't a purple in this array here, but there is purple in there. So that also works beautifully, and that blue as well, same. You could mix those through. They are going to, you could then add those in on the end. It's entirely up to you. But you see, if I pop that there, you can see that that pulls that purple. It's pulling these yellows and oranges there. It's pulling out these greens over here. So maybe, and in this little chap's face as well, maybe you want to mix up some of this with your Tula. I don't know. It's just gorgeous. Just gorgeous. So that's what we've got for you today. We've had the rulers, we've had the big rulers, small rulers. We've got the Tula Pink fabrics. We've got the Libs Elliot fabrics. I'm going to show you. Have a look online for the new Lewis and Irene blooms because there's so much there to look at. Gosh, it would take far too much time and I'm starting to lose my voice. So I am going to go just a little bit early. So apologies for that. I'll try and get it back for tomorrow. Is there anything that hi Natasha, here comes a silly question, but I can't find your fabric that you're using now in your shop. So Maggie, you want to have a look on Watch Live, and underneath Watch Live is all of the fabrics that we've got on today's show. That's where it is. Or if you just search Tula Pink, it should come up. But if you just, and it will show you like the first three when you so if you put in Tula Pink, I think some of the ribbons come up first, some of the beautiful embroidered ribbons that we've got from the Line Works collection. But then on the top right, it says Select All. And if you click on that, then you'll get everything Tula Pink, all there. It's all there. Morning, Natasha. Oh, I can't see it. I can't see it. It's a wonderful addiction to have. And Natasha makes us amazing fabrics, and best of all, doesn't hurt anyone except your wallet. That's all right. I'm becoming addicted for sure, says Susan. You are like I say, we're all the same. We're all the same, and I think that an addiction to beautiful fabrics, and it's all quality fabrics. That's one thing that I will insist on. My ethos here, as my daughter gave us our new tagline of Natasha makes adventures in fabric, and she was actually looking at the Reflections collection we had yesterday. She said, Mummy, it's an adventure in fabric. Bless her. Thank you. We'll have that as a tagline. And but it is so right. And the other thing, the other promise that I've made to myself is that I will not buy any fabrics that I would not be happy to be left with. So everything, that's a really negative way to put it, but basically I love all of the fabrics. There isn't anything here that I would not be utterly thrilled to be left with. Not that we're ever really left with anything. Morning, Margaret. She's not too shabby at all. Natasha, sorry I was a tad late. That darn cat again, pretending that hubby hadn't fed him. They lie, Margaret. They lie. Ask me how I know. And there we go. Lots of people helping you out to how to find that. That is a lovely bit of set dressing. It all looks very pretty. Thanks, Elizabeth. Yeah, you see, I love that. So you're making everything for a tea party. Great idea for a kid's birthday. Do you know what, Geraldine? I think, yeah, it's either that or it's going to be just the most bright and vibrant and fabulous and curious quilt that's not going to be. And if I do it because the fabric is so curious and quirky and fabulous, I wouldn't, normally you'd put in some fabric there and straighten everything up. Or I might even make these into bean bags or, you know, weird hexagon cushions or something and fill them with bean bag. I don't know yet. But whatever it is, it's going to be gorgeous, because how can it not be with these fabrics? It's just, it can't be, is the simple and easy question, is the answer to that. It just can't be. Actually, yeah, as big floor cushions. They'd be pretty awesome, wouldn't they? I might be unpicking some of that and making some huge floor cushions. Oh, what have you started? What have you started? Decisions. It's a tricky one. There are so many options, aren't there? As soon as you start along these lines, there are so many options. So a table runner for a picnic bench, or your party table. Yeah, you know, that's just it. And we all know a little girl around here whose birthday it is every day. So she'd probably have that out on the table every day. There we go. I think we're all good. Oh, Geraldine said, I have to say my smarfs arrived beautifully made. Whoever made them ordered more yesterday. So the smarfs are on clearance now. And the price that you're paying, it actually cost me more to have those manufactured, because we've just got a few left and they just need to go. Actually, because I thought, May, who's going to need a scarf in May? But actually the weather's so horrible. Everyone. And it's just to help out, you know. Yeah, yeah, like I say, but they were all made in the UK. That was the thing. I got to choose the fabrics, and I chose all of those fabrics. So then they're all, well, if you've had any of our fabrics from us, then you know that they are all high quality because it's made out of Moda. It's made out of some of our beautiful salt batiks. We had, I don't know if we've got any left of the Philip Jacobs. We had Kaif. We've got Liberty in there, beautiful Liberty in there as well, in a very discreet, you know, a gentleman could wear it easily because you can wrap them around like a snood. But they're all on there. They just need to go to good homes and be loved. Just the last few. So yeah, they were beautifully made in a factory just outside of London. So all made in the UK. It didn't feel right having stuff from China when we had these made at the start of the pandemic. It was like, that feels a bit wrong, and I'm glad I didn't, because they probably would only just be arriving now. But there we go. That's another thing. Yeah, he is big, Elizabeth, that cheeky pussycat. He certainly is. Yeah, Morty has certainly grown, Margaret. Beautiful tabby patterns on his sides. Yeah, you should see the spots on his tummy. Oh, they are beautiful, beautiful kittens, I have to say. I found saying your dink 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 helps flatten the seams even more. You know, whatever helps, Elizabeth, whatever helps. Right, okay, I think that's everything. Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much for watching today. Jane, oh, shall I show you what Jane's got tomorrow? And if you're buying anything, this is made from a Moda layer cake. If you are buying anything Moda this week, and we do have some beautiful Moda pre-cuts, then we've got a bit of a competition for you. So every time you buy something Moda, it's like a ticket into a raffle, and we've got a Moda quilt to give away, an entire quilt kit to give away, which I'll show you tomorrow. But this is what Jane has been working away at. Isn't it beautiful? A layer cake and one plain. Done. Done, I tell you, done. I just love it. I just love it. So she's going to show you how tomorrow, 10 o'clock. There we go. That's what we're up to tomorrow. Thank you very much for your company today. Naughty Morty has been put back in the kitchen. Yeah, I better go and give him his lunch. Take care, everybody. Thank you for your company. Bye-bye.